This conference will now be recorded.
So welcome to the National Sarcoidosis Online Support Group. Before we even introduce ourselves, because we were talking a little bit off the recording, is Wendy was talking about the different vaccinations, and she wanted to impart on us something that she went through. Wendy, could you tell us what happened?
Well, on Saturday, I went to, I don't know, while you're Rochester, New York, we have a place that America Corp's giving out shots. They're giving out at least, what is it, Paul? 700 a day. It's a lot of shots, coming through right now. And I went in there and I was sitting down, giving them my information, and they asked me what was wrong with me. I said I had sarcoidosis, because it was for people that were immune suppressed, the whole thing. And all of a sudden, a CDC doctor comes up to me and she says, are you on any kind of medicine right now? And I said no, that I was told to stop my treatment or go on any treatment until my liver functions get better, and because I'm taking the shot. She said, oh, good thing, because you do not want to be on any immunosuppressant at this time. You have to wait 2 weeks afterwards, that your final shot. So I went and I got my shot. I was fine. I walked out of there. I had no problem. And then I came home and I was like hit like with it. Like when I had my sarcoid flare where I ended up in the hospital. And I was in bed. I couldn't get up. I felt like I was pushing through water just to get to the bathroom. And then I was starting to wake up at 3 in the morning with these big stomach cramps and diarrhea. Excuse me, but this is exactly what happened. Feel like I was going to vomit. Couldn't breathe, having breathing problems. So of course I called my pulmonary doctor, my regular doctor. All three of them had different things to say about it, about the side effects. It was amazing. They all said this, but my pulmonary doctor, he was like, well, let me tell you, from what your symptoms are, it would have been way worse for you if you got COVID. He goes, you probably would have been on a machine. So you better go for the second shot. He goes, I'm very proud that you went for the first shot, but from what he's seen, that he feels that it's probably going to save my life, because if I get COVID, he says I'll be on a machine.
All right, so when's your next shot?
That's what I want to talk to. My next shot is on the 3rd of April.
Okay.
And he said it's going to be worse.
Remind me as we get closer. Just shoot me a personal message. All right, so I can throw it up to the prayer train.
Thank you.
Anytime. Now, I know Kevin said that he also received a vaccination, and Jim, I think you also did. Could I have you, Kevin, tell us about the shot and which shot, and did you have any problems? Oh, yep,
You're
done.
on mute.
We all do
had
it.
the Pfizer shot. First shot on the 16th, 2nd of February, second shot on 5th of March, and I had no bad side effects.
Excellent.
My friend Kathleen got the shots on the same days, and the first time she had a very bad reaction to the vaccine, or something else happened, but she was out for about a day and a half, just vomiting and cold, hot, and fatigue, and just down. And then she came right back.
Does she have any medical problems?
Yes, more than I do.
Oh, okay.
My dad, he's 84, so that was Pfizer. He got Moderna, had no reaction to the first one, and the second one he was toast for 36 hours. They couldn't get out of bed except to go to the bathroom, a little bit of soup, and we just kept trying to pour water in him to keep him hydrated. And then he came right back out of it after a long time in bed. So yeah, it can be rough. Now he doesn't have sarcoidosis, but he's got COPD and high blood pressure and arrhythmias and a whole bunch of things. So
Okay.
I'm really happy he got the shot too, because at least we have some level of protection from either catching it or getting bad symptoms if we do catch it.
Yeah. I'm just writing myself a note because I know my dad just got the second shot. He lives alone, so I just wrote it that I need to call him after this meeting. Thank you, Kevin. Jim, did you also have the vaccination?
Yes, I did. I had both shots, Pfizer, and really, other than a little sensitivity at the site, no major problem at all with both shots. Now, I understand this that the people in healthcare have identified that the older you are, the less a reaction you have. So I guess I'm the senior guy on the call, 73. So I went through, the shot was not an issue at all.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
The shot.
Shasta, have you gotten it yet?
No, I'm actually waiting. Having conversation with my doctor, where in the state of South Carolina, they're actually going in phases. And actually, I was in phase one, of course, with the, you know, high risk and stuff, and I actually missed the phase. And so further talking with my doctor, he and I, we talked, and he's confident that, right now I'm good. And more so
How
we'll
do
move
I
forward.
join?
You joined.
We'll
No, but
mo
to say something.
Hello?
I think that was Nancy talking.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah, but I'm more than likely gonna move towards phase three. We're in the phase 1B side right now. And so once phase 1B is done, then two will go, and then so I'll be ready probably around October-ish, based on what my doctor says, and then he wants to be the one to administer my shot. So that's the good thing about having doctors who really, really, really care, and stuff like that. Not saying that nobody else's doesn't or anything like that, but he was very open about some things, with the vaccine and the hastiness of it. And so he was just like, Shasta, how comfortable are you? And when I expressed to him my reservations, and when I expressed to him, what I was thinking, he was totally in agreement. And he was just like, if that's going to make you happy, he said, I want to make sure that you are good and everything like that. So yeah, I'm going to get it, just not yet. So
I'm the same way. I have not gotten it yet, but my doctor says that probably after the summer as well. So, and I would like to say hello to Nancy. I don't believe I've ever met you yet. My name is Kathleen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we were just talking about the vaccination. Have you also gotten the vaccination yet or not?
I am going for my first shot tomorrow.
Okay, and where are you located, Nancy?
I live in Mercer County, New Jersey, right outside of Trenton.
Okay, so we're close. I'm on Long Island, New York.
Okay, I have family that lives out in Belmore, and my mom is from Far Rockaway, and so very familiar.
Very nice. So welcome to you.
Thank you. I am so nervous about getting this vaccine tomorrow.
All right, but as you can see, Jim didn't have any problems with it, nor Kevin.
Right.
Wendy did. What may I ask what type of sarcoidosis you do have?
I have it of the lungs. In January, right before my birthday, I was diagnosed with cirrhosis. And I was actually just in the ER on Monday. My liver is filling with fluid that it was causing me to wheeze. So now I have to go see my hepatologist to see about how if she's able to go and drain the fluid, or do I have to go see another specialist? So I was joking in the ER that all my doctors are my friends right now, because that's all I seem to be seeing.
I do understand that. Um, I I just won disability. I think Kevin's the only one. I don't even think I got to tell Shasta. So I did win disability finally. I'm kind of mad at myself because if I stayed on unemployment, I'd be making more money. But you know what?
Right.
It's in God's hands. So,
Yes.
you know, that's where he wants me to be with less than more than less half. I'm like, oh my God.
Kathleen, you can be on disability and unemployment at the same time.
Are you kidding?
No.
Wow.
If you have a claim going, keep going.
Really?
Absolutely. It's a little technical, but are you able and willing to work? Yes, I just haven't found a job. And are you disabled? Yes, but you haven't found a job that you can work at being disabled.
Really?
So there's a little wiggle room in there where they're like, whatever, take the money.
Really? And I'm not
Really?
going to be hit up?
You're not
I'm
doing
not
anything
going to be
wrong.
smacked?
Go file for the extension. Go file for the $300 a week
Why
bonus.
didn't you tell me that like beginning of February? See what I do, Nancy? My goodness, these people don't tell us anything.
Oh,
I know my, because in 2018 and 2019, I was in the hospital twice, actually a week apart, and I talked to my one pulmonologist, and he said, you would never win a disability case. He said, it's impossible. But then I went back to see him because I thought I was having a sarcoid flare. And he says, oh, he said, you have sarcoidosis? I'm like, yes, that's what you're supposed to be
Oh my God.
treating me for. So now I'm with a whole new team of doctors that, knock wood, they all still continue to speak to one another. My pulmonologist, I just started seeing, well, he's on vacation. I was so thrilled in case of an emergency. He actually gave me his private cell phone number, which not many doctors do. So I'm like extremely grateful
No,
that
agreed.
Look at
finally,
that.
hopefully, they all continue to work together.
Is that a doctor in New Jersey near you?
Yes, yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
One of the things that Kevin said to me when I reached out to him about the disability, because he had won his case, and here I was going for the third time, is do you have documentation? And I had more documentation from every single doctor. I kept up with every appointment, every blood work, everything. And it turned out that my case, I finally got an attorney who does help outside of New York State as well, guys, if you need help. But what they said was in order to go to court, I would have to go in person unless I wanted a phone call or a video call. So we put in for the video call, to be 100% honest with you, because it was COVID. And turns out the doctor never even called me up on the video chat. He was from Virginia, and there was a stack like this on his desk, the attorney said.
Wow.
And he said, she's going to be out more than 20% of the time just going to doctors. No way she's going to be able to work. Stamp. I was like, yeah.
Oh.
So the biggest thing is continue going to those doctors. Listen, my full-time job now, Kevin, is a patient. So when they put your occupation, I go, patient.
patient advocate. I'm advocating for myself.
But you know what? Then I've already had problems. So I want to ask you guys your opinion as well. All right. So I went to see a new pulmonologist. This new pulmonologist is closer to me than my other pulmonologist that's in the city. So we need the PFT tests. We need certain blood tests, things like that. X-rays, CAT scans. So The gentleman who I went to see, I liked very much so. Then they set me up with a PFT test for the same day at 5 o'clock. It was hours in between, so I had to go back and forth, not a big deal. So have any of you ever on a PFT test had a technician put on one glove, only on his right hand, reach into the door where you're sitting, you know the thing that you put around your mouth that looks like a smiley face?
Yep.
It only had the cylinder. Okay, I've dealt with the cylinder too. This has been more than 13 years of PFT tests. Right? He reached in and did this.
No, no, I've never.
Once,
Oh,
2 times with his gloved hand. Meanwhile, he kept taking off my nose clips with his left hand that was ungloved. Okay?
No,
that can't be protocol.
mine
After the
just
second time of
doesn't
him
do
doing
anything.
this,
Tells me what to do, and I do it.
exactly. After the second time of pushing together my lips, I looked at him, I go, stop that. What are you doing it for? And he's like, so that no air leaks out of the side of the mouth. I go, I'm already bruised here from you squeezing. I mean, he wasn't
Good for
just
you.
pushing, he was, wah. And I was like, you need to stop it. He goes, well, then you need to do it. So I went like this. Yeah, I'm doing it. Not. And then, okay, so the last one, you know when they close the door?
Yep.
Okay, they're the only one on the last one. He lifts up his mask like this to show me what to do outside. And I looked at him, I go, I have had more than 13 years of PFT tests 2 times a year. I know what to do. You don't put your mask down. Then he was trying to open my door because it was fully enclosed. Okay. I held the door closed. He goes, no, you're done. I go, not until I put on my mask because you took off your mask. So I did use the patient portal because I know that's one of the first things you should do. Okay. Patient portal to the doctor. So the patient portal only accepts 500 characters.
you can use it twice.
Mine was 5 pages long.
Oh gosh.
Then I received a message from the LPN, not the doctor, the LPN stating that they'll give me a different technician, and he says he wore both gloves. Now that was at 9:30 in the morning. When I was being polite to him at the beginning, I said, so do you work every day from 9 to 5? And he says, no, tomorrow I start and my shift is from 1 to 9. So you know, bull dinkies, that they even spoke to him at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
All right, with that in mind, because I like the doctor, but I don't like the PFT people. So do I just leave the doctor and find another one? Because it's going to be the same PFT lab.
Kathleen, I'm leaving my pulmonary, I'm going to the sarcoid, but because of, I had an incident with a lady trying to put a port in me and I wasn't supposed to get a port.
What?
And I'm going to another, I'm going to Strong, I'm going to another pulmonary doctor because I can't, we have 2 hospital systems here and one of them is really, has a lot of negligence compared to the other one. I don't know why they have so many, but I do know that my neighbors next door, they were drug dealers and she worked in the hospital as a nurse.
Oh gosh.
Seriously. Oh, you're on mute, Kevin.
I wonder where he's getting the drugs from.
Yeah, seriously. So I'll be honest, I have a weakness and I've been working on my weakness and my friends have been trying. I can advocate for Kevin, for Jim, for Wendy, for Nancy, for Chasta. I'm not very good speaking up my mind to that person, to their face. And it's probably from my upbringing. I get it. Okay, because I always had a habit of swallowing things. I always got things out through dancing, either teaching somebody, watching, you all of a sudden connect with your wife in a ballroom and actually laugh at each other. To me, those are precious moments. So I'm always better with other people. Does anybody have any thoughts to help me grow in that aspect? Because I know you've been pushing me. I know, and you've been helping.
I mean, you put together this group, you
Oh,
know?
I didn't. Frank did, and he
Well, you
pulled
do put
us
it
all
together.
in.
You're putting it together today. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
And,
and
just give yourself a chance to do it. Speak up. Don't be afraid of someone not liking you or whatever, because you got to take care of yourself because nobody else is gonna.
and I do believe that, Wendy. And go ahead, tell me, my sister.
I'm gonna be nice while we have company, but as soon as this is over, I'm gonna call you.
Mhm.
But no, what I basically just tell people, nobody can tell it like you can tell it. The same way you advocate for me when I called you on several things. I'm gonna need you to have that same energy for me. You need to have that same energy for yourself. And it's really easy. It's not hard. Trust me, when you do it once and then you do it twice, then you do it again, because the same little spiciness you just had when you was talking about what that guy did, you can use that same nice nasty attitude when you are trying to talk to these doctors. And if you're not comfortable vocalizing it, you can always type it out, write a letter, let your doctors know, hey, because we have what we call here my chart. I'm not sure if everybody else has that. Yeah,
Mhm.
we have my chart. So anytime I don't get to say what I want to say to my doctors, because doctor's appointments are sometimes quick, if I remember, then hey, I'm sending an email. So it's the same way as you having a conversation. I tell anybody, my doctor's my best friend, because he knows me from the rooter to the tutor,
Mm,
because he has to. That's his job. So
right,
how do I talk to my best friend? I'm going to
right.
talk to my best friend the same way I'm going to talk to my doctor.
Yeah.
So that's the first step in advocating for yourself. And if you find you a best friend that don't know how to listen, the same way you'll find a doctor that don't know how to listen, you need to change it up and get a new one.
Yeah. I,
So
you know, and I agree with everything you say, and I tell everybody the same thing. And I know that a lot of people are like me. I mean, you look at a doctor and you go, well, they've been through medical school. I'm just an advocate here. Yeah, I know what sarcoidosis is and stuff like that. But, it really put me off with the message from the LPN. I couldn't leave it alone because she said, um, we're sorry if you felt unsafe. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a scorpion on top of it. So, and every once in a while, she lights up. So I did write back, Kevin, and it was very, very simple. I said, I did, with capital letters, feel unsafe, capital letters. And the second thing, I promise you, he only had one glove on. Thanks for listening anyway, Kathleen. And I
yeah.
will bring it up to the doctor. But
And the thing about that too is we have to stop allowing them to tell us what we felt, what we experienced. No, it wasn't if I felt unsafe. No, I did feel unsafe. This is what happened, and I'm telling you this is what happened. And I mean, I've gotten to the point to where I've gone so far over the top to where not only am I contacting your LPN, your RN, your doctor, your NP, your NPA, and all these other people, I want to know who the supervisor is. I want to know who's over you, who's over this entire practice, because those are the people that I need to talk to. Because if y'all are going to blow this off like this, that means you've done this to somebody else and it went unnoticed. So it's the buck stops here. So if you felt like it was a certain whatever, then you take it a step further. If the LPN didn't do what the LPN was supposed to do, you go up. And if you have to personally go and say, hey, I need this doctor to get this, and this doctor needs to contact me, and if you don't hear anything, go above that person. The chain of command. If they have to follow it, then so can we.
yeah,
So, because it's time out for people playing with your health. If you're taking your health serious, I'm gonna need the people who are taking care of me to do the same. Now, I understand they see 5,000,001 patients on a week to week basis. I get it. But at the same time, if you're caring for me for those 45 minutes, I'm gonna need you to be as serious as you are if it was your child, or even if it was you. So you only have me for a good 45 minutes. Take care of me like I'm the last person on the planet.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Nancy, have you had any problems with that? Talking up, speaking up?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay.
When
All
When,
right,
when
I will
I
continue
was
working
in
on
the
that.
ER on Monday, and most of the nurses came in with gloves on, and the nurse on the second shift, he came in, and I looked at him, and I'm like, I mean, all he was doing was putting on a blood pressure cup and checking my temperature. But the first things I asked him, I said, "Why don't you have gloves on?" He just said, "Well, I'm not touching any bodily fluids." And I'm like, well, the next time he came in the room, he had those gloves on.
That's good. That's very
I
good.
said, you don't know who he touched.
You're right, because they didn't wash their hands when they're in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
I was so glad when I got out of there.
I'm still working on that part of me. I want to mention, because if anybody here is on disability, so Kevin, I was telling you about roll call wheelchair dance, and every lesson that we do, which is on Tuesdays, we don't always dance or stretch. Main reason is because I am part of a huge disability group. So I have people from Georgia who join it as seated partners from all over the United States. But I did want to mention that for all of us, and this is something for you to stick in the back of your brain, with us now being part of the American Disabilities Act of 1979, it allows us to bring in somebody to the doctors with us to be, like, let's say Chasta was there, and I had a whole bunch of questions, but there's no way that I'm going to remember them. So I give her a list, and then she writes the answers down. And Kath, you also wanted to ask this. And didn't you want to bring up the fact about the PFT person doing this? Things like that. So just know that you do have so it's the ADA of 1979, just so you know.
That's good to know, because a lot of doctors by where I live, the only one that lets my husband in is my hematologist and my hepatologist. They're the only two that let my husband in.
Are you considered full-time disabled at this point?
No, that's
Okay.
the thing.
Yeah, so the first thing is it's only for the American Disabilities Act for anybody who's gotten a disability. But because here's the thing, I just entered into this new realm, the ADA. So I want to learn as much as possible. So believe it or not, my people are teaching me. So if anybody ever needs a wheelchair, a seat cushion, anything like that, I got you covered.
I have a question for you, Kathleen. Were you
Yes.
in New York on 9/11?
I was not.
Oh, okay. Because that's what, like, one of the things I know that sarcoidosis could be one of, but I tried once and I just like gave up trying this because I was denied. They told me it wasn't from being in New York on 9/11, but my new pulmonologist wants me to go see another doctor. I'm like, well, once all this is straightened out with my liver, that's my next step.
Good. And if you ever want to, if you know an attorney for disability attorney, that's fine. If you need somebody, I can give you the name. I'm not taking any kickback. They take a percentage. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a heck of a lot. Do you know what percentage it was, Kevin?
I'm going to find out real quick. It wasn't bad.
Thank you. Because Kevin, I thought I was OCD. Goodness gracious. Kevin, he's teaching me how to be very organized, more so than usual. So that's a good thing. And Nancy, just so you know, I don't think I've ever introduced myself to you, so I'm so sorry. And I know this is really late because we just kind of hit the ground running because we wanted to talk about the COVID shots, but I would like to go around and just do briefly where you're from, where is your sarcoidosis, how long have you been diagnosed, if you want to add any little things in.
Yeah,
So Nancy, do you want to start?
Yeah, I was diagnosed in like 2010, I was actually diagnosed with sarcoidosis and asthma at the same time. I was still working, and I would talk and then I would lose my voice for like 3 hours. That I started with one pulmonologist, and he had me go for a chest x-ray, and on the x-ray it actually said possible sarcoidosis, and he shrugged it off. He said, "You don't have that." Well, I went to another pulmonologist, had the liver biopsy. Sure enough, I have sarcoidosis, and I'm like, I never heard of it. I'm like, what in the world is this? And finally, because I was pushing myself to go to work every day, I was out 12 hours a day. That my pulmonologist told me, he's like, look, if you keep working these hours, you're going to wind up dead. So I wound up after 10 years leaving my job that I sort of loved, but
Nancy, how did you lose your voice?
just from talking too much, I would start to cough, and believe me, I love to talk, so it was extremely hard. I'd get so frustrated. He said, so
Okay.
now hopefully I'm going in the right direction, and it's just like one thing on top of another. And now with the liver cirrhosis, I bruise at the top of the hat. I'm like one tiny little touch. So when my husband was in the ER with me, because my veins are deep and they call them superficial, so they have to take blood from my hand. And he sees me grimacing. And after the nurse left, I'm like, now you see what I go through. I said, since December, I must have had blood work done like 20 times.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. The one blood test I had to go for, they had to take 12 vials of blood. My husband's like, how the hell did you manage to drive home? Very slow.
Yeah. Always drink water before that blood work.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin, did you have an
Definitely.
answer?
I did. It's 25% of the first check you get from SSDI. So if you apply, so in my case, I applied, 2 months later I was approved. So they got 25% of 2 months of SSDI. And then there's a cap on it. I'm not sure what the cap is, but it's very reasonable.
Wow,
And
that is.
I think it's the same everywhere from what I've seen.
Right. So they take it.
Wait, I thought it was like, I thought my lawyer was saying the one that retired 25% on the whole.
No, just
Once you
whatever.
get approved, but once
Yeah,
you get beyond the approval, they get paid out of the first payment, which is typically backdated to your application date. And then that point forward, you get the entire SSDI amount.
Did that make sense, Wendy?
Yeah, before he retired, I should have got him some chocolate balls, man, because
Chelsea, you missed it.
with me.
We were talking about St. Patrick's Day, and I made dark chocolate whiskey balls. That has really no sugar in it other than the dark chocolate. So that's where that's coming
The
from.
dark chocolate is good for us.
Yes. Yeah, I don't like dark chocolate, but I have a diabetic in the house, my husband. So everything that I make in this house is everything is watched, carbohydrates, everything. So, but anyway, Chasta, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would. Everybody knows me, except for Nancy. But Nancy, I'm
Nice to
Chasta.
meet
I am
you.
nice to meet you, sweetheart. I am from South Carolina. I've been living here all of my life. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis right before my 19th birthday in 2005. And I have sarcoidosis everywhere except for my liver and neuro. Um, and I'm starting to think that the neuro is probably coming. I'm not putting that in the atmosphere, but I've been seeing some small little signs of some stuff. So, but like Kathleen said, we trust God on everything that we do, say, and how we move. So, yeah, I have sarcoidosis everywhere except for those two places, and I think that's it. What do I normally say? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we like to change it around, so it's all good.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah.
She is a ambassador and something else for
Yes.
the foundation.
Okay, so I am a patient ambassador for the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research. I'm a patient navigator for them, and I'm also a local advocate and a peer advocate for them. Um, I am also the upstate representative for the Foundation for South Carolina. I am also a co-founder of a new organization called Songs for Sarcoidosis.
What is it called?
Songs for Sarcoidosis. I haven't went live yet, so it's coming. So it's fairly new, not even a full 3 months old yet. So I'm aiding someone in that process, and it's exciting. So I get to say something is mine now. And I think that's the most exciting part because I've done so much for other people and all that kind of stuff like that. That finally it's my turn. Um, I've I've been that one to celebrate other people in the hallway before my door opened, and now I found the right door. I knocked on it, and God decided to open. So definitely, I was praising God in the hallway while doors were opening, and for other people, and celebrating other people, and everything like that. So it's definitely my turn. So hashtag shine, baby, shine. So that's what I'm doing. It's my year shine.
I'm so happy for you. I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to hear more about it. I really
Y'all
can't.
are actually going to get to hear me sing this year.
Can't wait. Your energy right now is so great. I really like it.
I am in the process of writing the theme song for our foundation. You can't have a foundation called Songs for Sarcoidosis and not actually have a song. So we're
I
actually
know, right?
we're in the process of writing the song. It's a majority of it is already done. Um, we have some stuff planned. We're gonna forego doing a lot of events for 2021, but the big gala will happen next year. The launch will happen probably around October-ish, November, and everything like that. So we're excited, and everything like that. So I'm happy. I'm in a really good place, right now. I found love,
Ooh.
so I'm excited about that. Um, and we're talking about babies, so we're gonna see what happens.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm good. You know who's going to be blowing up your phone now?
So I am in a really good place. And I say that because I haven't had to fight those depressive attacks, those anxiety attacks, and all that kind of stuff. And it feels amazing. So yeah,
I'm so glad for you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Kevin, will you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So I've had sarcoidosis for over 10 years. It started out in my right ring finger. It was where they just first observed it or uncovered it. But I also had it in my heart and lymph nodes, so a very typical presentation. Um, for the next 10 years, it was very straightforward. Get a scan every 2 years and carry on. No medication, no nothing. Then in 2020, I was in a car accident and 2 days later was in the hospital with atrial fibrillation. And 2021 was a lost year. I mean, I went through a bunch of heart procedures. I had an ICD implanted. I had confirmed cardiac sarcoidosis and started on the medicine regimen. And it was rough. It was really rough for about 6 to 7 of those months. And then the fog and the fatigue and everything else started lifting towards the end of November. And I had my heart checked in December and it was clear. So I'm like super happy about that. We're tapering down the prednisone. I'm down to 7 milligrams a day this week, and I go down to 6 next week, and I'm doing 1 milligram every 2 weeks right now. And so far, so good. You know, at some point in the next 3 or 4 weeks, my adrenals are going to have to wake up and start creating their own cortisol. And so we're on the watch out for that.
Is it in your lymph nodes anymore, Kevin?
What's that?
Is it in your lymph nodes anymore?
The lymph nodes got better with the prednisone. The lungs slightly improved with the prednisone. My PFTs improved. But there's a couple of other areas of my body where it started to appear that it wasn't before. So I think the prednisone has been like pushing it out of my heart, not eradicating it. So it's just moving to another section of my body, and we'll have to be doing, we'll see what the doctors say, but every 6 months to a year, I'll probably be getting a PET scan just to make sure it's not showing up in my liver or showing up in my spine or whatever. But I was a really, really big advocate for myself. And I took a whole body approach. So I got my eyes checked. I got my brain scanned. I have a cardiopulmonary exercise test coming up to see what my baseline is. Had a rheumatologist check a bunch of stuff. Skin. So last time I had a flare of sarcoidosis, I ended up with really, really bad skin cancer, like within a month. And it was a new mole, and I went to the doctor, and they're like, that's a bad one, and we need to take that off. And that was the only time I ever had it. So whether it's a coincidence or related to the cytokines and the inflammation and everything else that's going on when you're in a flare, I don't know, but I'm not taking any chances this time around.
No, it's funny because when I went under a bad flare, just a small snippet there, maybe we could talk about this personally. I also got skin cancer on my nose. It was probably the worst flares going on in my body. And I was like, skin cancer? What? And they literally had to take like a chunk. And it was horrible. But anyway,
yeah.
I agree
That's
with you.
interesting. Yeah, I really believe that's what happened.
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences.
No.
Just like I had this accident and now I have cardiac sarcoidosis, I know one caused the other. Either caused it or exacerbated it. And
when I introduce myself, remind me about car accident because I just wrote something down because I had one too. And that's when everything started going kerplooey. But anyway, may I ask Jim could you tell me where you're from?
Me? I'm from Philadelphia, suburbs, Plymouth Meeting, King of Prussia area.
Okay. And mainly because Nancy has never probably heard all that. And to be honest with you, I could hear it probably 20 times and I probably never remember it.
Brain fog and all.
Yeah. Jim, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Jim Jeffries. I'm relatively new, I guess, to the group because, excuse me, I've had advanced prostate cancer since 2017. And that was the focal point that I've been on for since then, which was basically once I was diagnosed, I had a Gleason score, which was not favorable. It was a Gleason 10, which was the worst it could be. So I started. I was healthy, and the doc said, "Why don't we approach this full prong as best we can to tackle it head on?" And I agreed to it. So I went on radiation, chemo, and hormonal treatments to try to get my prostate cancer contained and under control. And that 2018 was pretty much a year of all kinds of treatments and procedures and radiation, chemo, and all that. 19 was a pretty good year. We seemed to keep things under control through 20. Then in 2020, I I had a PET scan and started seeing all these hot spots. And my oncologist was concerned with, hey, maybe the cancer spreading, maybe the prostate cancer spreading, because I had several hot spots in my on my chest area. So that's when they said, well, we have to get some tissue and try to take a look at it. So I went through a couple procedures where they did biopsies, one down my mouth and one they slit my my trach and went down. And the good news was both of the doctors said, and they looked at the biopsy and said, good news, it's not cancer, but you have a thing we call sarcoidosis. And I said, oh, so that was, I guess in October, November, I was diagnosed as having sarcoidosis. So I participate in the ANCAM Advanced Prostate Cancer Group. And Rick said, oh, now that you're diagnosed with that, we have a group that can help you for that. So so here I am. So I'm now a junior member over here trying to figure out what's going on with sarcoidosis and how that affects me, and learning more about the mystery label that I guess they put on a lot of things. They lump it all together and say, oh, this is sarcoidosis. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I mean, even you were talking about the PFT. I imagine that's a pulmonary function test or something, because
Yes.
I haven't had any of those yet. I mean, I have a pulmonologist I'm working with, and he basically said, well, if you start having some problems, we'll get you some prednisone. But for now, I'm just hanging in, and I feel pretty good overall. So I'm just trying to learn and get more information. So I appreciate being with you folks.
Thank you so much, Jim. So one of the first things I want to definitely mention, Trina is in the, well, actually she's walking now, so we'll ask her to introduce herself when she gets settled and has a drink. But she's also a moderator. And what we say here is our opinions, what we're going through, what we know about the disease, but please realize that we aren't doctors, and we're here. You know what, Jim? You might be able to shed light on something that none of us thought about before. You know, Kevin thinks about everything, so we'll, you know, he's usually our thinker. Can I put you as that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just a group that want to help each other and support each other as much as possible. And that's why I do bring out my negativities, I guess, because I need to become stronger in some areas, and we all do. So it's a group that is definitely, to me, uplifting. I love all these people. You know, and I really feel that we can make a difference in each other's lives. And look at how I consider you my sarcoidosis family. Just like I call Chaston my sister. Wendy's my sister. Trina is my sister. She knows that. You know, it doesn't mean that it's from one mother. You guys are my brothers. You know, we're all in this together. And we are the snowflake disease. But before we ask Trina, Wendy, I haven't forgotten about you. I had you started, so I wanted you to kind of finish this part. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Nancy. My name is Wendy, and I'm from Rochester, New York.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, I have neurosarcoid, and I have it in my lymph nodes and supposedly in my thyroid, which I can do nothing about. And I just started all this last year, and I got a lot of help from this group. They pushed me through a lot. I got a lot accomplished because of this group. So if you need help, just reach out. Frank used to run it. I think he still runs it, but he's been out. He's got a lot of health issues, and he's an amazing person. He's done so much for us. I'm so grateful for him. And Kathleen also has helped me in times of complete depression, horrible anxiety. Felt like I was going to end my life because it just got too complicated with losing my job, the doctors, my family life. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be here right now. So I hope it works out for you. I hope you reach out and get help like I did. You just ask and they'll help you.
And Wendy, where do you live?
Rochester, New York.
And Jim, you didn't say where you live. Sorry, you got to unmute.
I live about 20 minutes away from Kevin, I guess, over the turnpike. I live in the Philadelphia Bucks County line, right outside of, right in Philadelphia, but right on the line with the Bucks County. So I'm the old exit 28 of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And Kevin, I guess you're 20. I know it's 300 and something. You were 25. Okay. So that's the old numbers. They changed the turnpike, so I can never figure it out. Now it's exit 300 something, but before it used to be exit 28.
Yes, thank you so much. So while I'm letting Trina, it looks like she might be in the house, but let me give her a few more seconds. So Nancy, my name is Kathleen Tarano. I work with these fabulous moderators. There are 10 of us. Well, actually, there's only 7 of us currently. We're looking to go back to 10. Frank does run the show. Just because he's not with us, he's going through a lot of health issues, as Wendy said. So he is still running it. When I'm not able to be here, there's 9 other fabulous, well, actually 8 if you take out Frank, 8 other fabulous moderators that can always be here. Sometimes life gets in the way. Unfortunately, I had to cancel, I guess, 2 times ago because my son went into the hospital. And here at the hospital, I was allowed to go with him. So that was much more important. So, and I couldn't get anybody, but Kevin and Jim were able to be together. So I've had sarcoidosis definitively diagnosed for 13 years. According to some people that are doing some research, it looks like I've had sarcoidosis since I'm about 17 because I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome and Epstein-Barr. And from what I understand, those old diagnoses should have hit them up for sarcoidosis, but they didn't know about it. I have sarc through most of my body at this time. It was not in my kidneys, my eyes, or neurological. However, I believe the neurological has now found me, even though I was trying to hide. MRI showed something. Neurologist has to go over it, so we'll see what happens. It was found by accident by another doctor. What do I do? What do I do? What don't I do? So I'm part of Sarcoidosis of Long Island, Stronger Than Sarcoidosis, which is another nonprofit. I'm an ambassador for Sarcoidosis, for the Foundation of Sarcoidosis. I am a moderator for Better Breathers, aka American Lung Association, because I got nothing better to do. What else do I do? Oh,
You make chocolate balls.
I make dark chocolate whiskey balls. So I'm always the person who's probably talking about food, alcohol, and non-alcoholic drinks. So I'm that person. I always want to go on vacation. So I figure sarcoidosis has already got me. So as soon as this COVID lets up or I get my vaccinations, I'm going to visit a whole bunch of my brothers and sisters out there. Yes, I'll be heading your way. Yes, if I don't visit my girlfriend Tina also, and I'll probably see Trina at that point in Georgia. So I'm just going to get in the car and go. I'm tired of being home. So that's who I am. And
I hear you there.
you can always reach out to any one of us. So Wendy, Jim, Kevin, Shasta, Trina, or myself on Facebook. If you need our phone number, none of us are going to hold back our phone number if you need to talk. Right, Wendy?
Yes.
Because
I do want to talk about something though before we close. It's almost time to close. Trina did some really significant stuff with Congress people in her area, and I wanted to know what happened before she leaves.
I don't want her to leave. I was hoping she was getting situated. Trina, are you available? Oh, Trina left. All right, so she might be coming back in. Remember, she has some youngsters in the house. So,
She, as a small slight update, the things that we were asking of from those people have gotten on board, and they are listening to her. So she still has more work to do. So the first couple of steps that she's made have all been in the right direction. I'm not sure verbatim what all of that entails, but I do know that she has definitely made strides in the right direction with getting the information, the things that we expressed on that meeting. She expressed a lot of those things to the right people, and the right people are actually opening their ears and listening to the things that she has to say. So she's actually moving forward in the right direction. I'm sure that she'll give a more detailed explanation of everything that was talked about and said and what those people have agreed to do. But she definitely has more meetings coming up with legislators in her area. So positive vibes on that.
and that's fantastic. Wendy, thank you for so much for bringing that up because I wasn't on the past two ones. So, but I do want to mention to you guys one other date that's really important, June 30th. Kevin, are you taking notes?
It's important.
It's very important. So June 30th, I believe Rick will have no problem me telling you this, but we are putting together on how to advocate on the local, state, and federal platforms. So we will have somebody, a Sarky, talking about how they go about doing it and things like that. So, and we'll have a moderator, and then Rick has other people, and we're probably, I can't tell you who our partner is yet because it's not solid. So, but it is in the works. So I do need you all to make sure you have June 30th free because it's a definite. And we all need to learn how to advocate locally, state, and federal. And we all should be pushing. You know what? The more awareness we have. Go ahead, Wendy.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by partner? I mean,
so we, like Stronger Than Sarcoidosis has partnered with ANCAN in order to bring the sarcoidosis support group. Somebody is going to partner with ANCAN to put this out there, this platform out there. So where we'll all be able to learn how to do it on those levels. Kevin?
That sounds great.
I know.
yeah, it does sound really great. I can't wait to move.
Yeah, we all can do this.
Song. I can't wait for it to move.
Yeah, we can all do this, guys. It's a phone call, it's a fax, you know, it's an email. It's that simple. So once you figure out how to, you know, cut it down to something that somebody wants to read, you know, grab their intention. It's like a grant. Does anybody know how a grant works? You have to go after them and you got to tug on their heartstrings. You got to get, and it has to be short but concise, you know, and you have to keep putting that motto in there and that what you're trying to do. So it's a pain in the butt, but once you get that paragraph, you're set, especially on advocating. Right, boom, boom, send. It's cut and paste. You can do this, Wendy. I can't wait till you learn.
Kathleen, you just do such a great job. You're amazing.
But see, Wendy, one day
it seems to me that I have more faith in you than you have in yourself, but you really are, you know, so helpful. You just don't know it yet. I'm trying to get people, you know, to get into this group, but I'm not good at it. So, whatever you're doing, just keep on doing it because it's so helpful. Because like when I speak to my counselors, you know, I have a counselor and a counselor nurse. I'm so impressed about the help that I get from this group.
But here's the thing, Wendy, you're going to learn. And caller one, is that my Trina?
Yes.
Yay! Could you introduce yourself?
I tried to get back online. It's like, okay, you got to log in. I'm like, oh, not today. Not today.
I have a new member. Her name is Nancy. She is from New Jersey. She was newly diagnosed. And Kevin, you forgot to remind me about the car accident, but I can go back to that, or we can
Trina,
discuss it.
if I can
So
interrupt
Trina,
you 1
could you
second.
tell us about you? Oh, I'm sorry, Chelsea.
No, Trina, is everything okay with your house? I know a couple tornadoes touched down in Georgia.
We're fine.
Okay, good.
Thank you for asking.
When did that hit? Trina?
Yes,
When were the tornadoes? I just want to reach out to Tina.
yesterday and
All
this
right.
morning.
All right. I'm going to reach out to her as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Trina, could
Okay.
you please tell us all about you?
I'm shy, bashful, humble. Not this season. Okay. Excuse me. I'm trying to digest my food. I am a sarcoidosis warrior for over 27 plus years. Originally from the state of New York. Lives in the boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx. Shortly after I moved here to Atlanta, Georgia, I live in Decatur, DeKalb County. Been here a little over 20. So you're guessing my age. Anywho, just went to the rheumatologist just this past Monday, which we already know that this disease is taking its turn to a different course. And I'm dancing to the drama, the piper, meaning that it's now fully in my lymph nodes, not just in my chest cavity, because last time I went to the pulmonologist, she stated it's dissipating, that they don't see the scarring as much as they used to. However, I'm on a new journey, staying optimistic, working a full-time job, and I have a new addition to the family. So I'm a nana of 5, and today is the oldest birthday. So that's what ran me a little late to get home to speak with you all and engage with you all to find out more about you.
Well, actually, we want to find out more about you because we want to know what happened with you when you spoke to the Congress people in your area.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for the follow-up. Thank you. Okay. I did speak to the legislative director of, let me get it right. I want to say either the senator or my congressman for my district. Yeah. Feedback was very, very, how can I put it? Unexpected. Because sometimes when you speak with and engage with them, it's like they nod their head, even though we did, virtual, and I decided to call in instead of them seeing me. I was just like baffled at the feedback, especially from our newest senator. They're gonna
Is he there,
circle
Trina?
back around. They're gonna circle back around with the request that I had for what I asked. I asked for a rare disorder clinic. And I explained to them that we have 159 counties, as they know, and people are scurrying around, even going to neighboring states to get treatment or being properly diagnosed. So it was some conversations with that. They were impressed with the idea, and she even said, well, maybe Grady Hospital, because Morehouse School of Medicine trained there, or Emory. So I was heard, and then when I spoke to the congressman, I was heard too. Even going back to the senator's office, it was stated, now is the time because they're allocating funds. So we'll know. I had spoke on about people that's on Medicaid and the issues the issues that they're having with billing and also with income. That was heard, and I seen here lately, I think it was today or yesterday, you guys excuse me because I'm like all over the place, but I think it was yesterday I seen something come through my email, and it done came up, and I think Nord is behind pushing this policy, Nord or Everyday Life. I got to go back and check, but
Probably Nord.
Okay. So then there's Nord. So that just lets you to know that they're listening and it's back on the table, and hopefully they amend what they have, policies that they have in place, so that there's fairness all around. We'll see. I'm gonna follow back up with them, and I'm gonna give it another 3 weeks right before they go on vacation,
Did
and
you
then
see the congressperson, or do they have their assistant there?
There, for the senator, it was his legislative director. You can't get no better than that, Wendy. I mean, for somebody who's newly elected into that position, right now, you know, they in DC, they all over the place. But
Yeah, because of
it was a great opportunity because we're learning each other. I'm their constituent. I hire him to do a job. You understand what I'm saying? So we're learning each other. And I got a good feel in the feedback. The only issue that I have is that he has to run again within a year. Right now, he was just covering a seat because someone left because they were medically ill. So now this is like, okay, so hopefully I got his yay and hopefully he get reelected, because if not, we're going to be starting the same process all over again. What I spoke on, they heard, you know, not even just the senator, the congressman, they are hearing what is being said. I got a lot of feedback from my congressman. She wasn't the legislative director. I wrote it down, forgive me. But I got a lot of verbal, and that was unexpected, because usually they'll say one or two things. I mean, we had a whole lengthy conversation on the phone, and it helped that the other person that was supposed to participate in that call for some reason couldn't make it. So, you know, I grasped 15 minutes out of this 30 to, you know, give them a breakdown of what is needed here in the state of Georgia. You know, where's the fairness in this? How do you expect people to survive? Me personally, I'm a full-time employee. And I had to break it down. I was like, yeah, I have insurance, but I'm a full-time employee. But guess what? I still have to decide whether or not I'm going to put gas in my car to get to work, pay this deductible so I can have this procedure. And I went down the list, and she heard me.
Hey.
That's good.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, Trina, I was mentioning that June 30th is going to be a time for them to learn how to advocate on the local, state, and federal level. So
Okay.
there will be, yeah. I'll be talking to you soon, Miss Mary. So I know Trina knows what it's about, and I know we're coming close to the end. If we could just say hello to Mary and to James and just have them introduce themselves. I'm so thrilled that they were able to make it. So Mary, would you go first and say hi? Nancy's new, and where you live, how long sarcoidosis, things like that.
Sure. I'm Mary Morlino. I live in Maryland. I'm kind of from all over. Diagnosed in 2014. Probably had it longer, like most people. I'm cardiac mostly, but also in various other places, pulmonary, lymph nodes, spleen, all that good stuff. Let's see, what else should I say? Oh, I work for the Every Life Foundation as patient engagement. So Every Life Foundation does rare disease advocacy. So that's my big old thing. And I apologize for being late, but I was gonna come on, but then I got a call from a friend of mine whose sister called him because his sister saw an ambulance out front of my mother's house in Massachusetts. So, but I called her, and of course she's like, "Oh, I'm fine. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Mom, is there an ambulance outside your house?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, she had fallen, so she's okay, but this is my crazy mother.
Oh, gee.
So
sorry to hear that.
No, thank you. She's a nut. She's 86 years old and still shoveling up in Boston. So, I mean, so she fell, she got to the phone, she called an ambulance, so I'm happy, but it was just, I was planning on coming earlier, so I apologize for that.
It's okay. I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah, I am. She's gone the way to the hospital, finding out more later, but she's conscious and she was not hurt in the fall. So that's good.
Awesome.
Where are you from, Mary? Did you say where you were from? I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I live in Maryland right now.
So did you get to speak, like Trina did, to your local Congress for sarcoid or rare disease?
Yep, I worked, well, if she was talking about the Rare Across America, That's one of the programs that the company I work for, the foundation I work for, that's one of their programs. So I always participate, and I'm always advocating for sarcoidosis with my, I did it in New Jersey when I was living there, and then I moved to Maryland and I started doing it here, but that's like a major part of my job. So I'm always doing that, and I continue to advocate and try to get more people to advocate if they have the capacity. And I mean, I totally get it because I'm a patient, that, you know, your first priority is your own health and getting yourself, you know, and your team, your medical team aligned and your support system aligned. And those are the priorities. But if you have the capacity to move into advocacy at a legislative level, then I'm definitely, talk to me, because I can definitely help you at federal level, state level, and all of that good stuff.
And there'll be a workshop.
What?
There's going to be a workshop June 30th.
Yeah. Yep. And actually this
Mary's
weekend
told me
there's something this weekend with FSR also.
Yeah.
So I
It's
don't
a
know.
whole weekend training.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole weekend of training. 8 hours each day. Are they kidding me?
I know. I saw that schedule. I'm like, that's cuckoo.
Yeah, that's cuckoo when we were in person. Nonetheless, yeah. So I know it's going to be taped, so I'll be kind of watching a lot of them on the side. So.
And can
But
I, I'm on a side total personal note, can I just say that Shasta, your freaking photos are slaying. I am loving it. They are so good. Keep them coming. Keep doing it. I'm figuring you're on fire, girl. I'm loving them.
I
Thank
can't
you.
get fan the fact that she had them legs showing.
So
I gotta
I've done
get like you, hon.
I've done 2 photo shoots so far, and I'm actually scheduled to do I think 3 more for the entire year, and who knows what's gonna come in between that. So the first photo I did was for my 16th sarcoidosis anniversary, and I was celebrating 16 years, and the purpose of that photo shoot was for everybody to see me face first, head on, no backgrounds, no props, none of that. It was just me, my oxygen, and that was it. And so that photo shoot was fun. It was amazing. And then the other shoot I did was a body confidence photo shoot. I was in a bathing suit with a cover up, and I do have photos with just the bathing suit on. And because if you've been following my page and stuff, you know I've been working out. I've been trying to get my body back right and together and everything like that. So it's just been a fun time. And like Kevin said early, the energy that I've been exuding, I'm surprised at myself. I'm in a really, really, really good place. So I'm just excited
Awesome.
about what's happening with me and for me. I've always been that one to make things happen for other people, and I'm always there for other people. But it feels even more amazing when I can do those same things for other people and I can do them for myself. So thank you, Mary. You know you're one of my favorite people.
I'm fangirling you, so it's right back. I'm like, love it. I'm like, keep them coming.
Again, Nancy, please Facebook Messenger any of us or request to be a friend. We're all here, so just go ahead, take down the names. James, do you want to
I
say?
will.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, where's Nancy?
She's in New Jersey. She's a new sarcoidosis. Unfortunately, we love to, bring them in, but we'd rather you not be here.
What
Don't
part
mean
of
that.
New Jersey are you in, Nancy?
I live right outside of Trenton.
Okay.
Nice area.
And, yeah, it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, because we really don't have any family here. So my husband, before COVID hit, we were going to move to St. Louis to be with his entire family. My husband has 7 siblings, so we need a bigger support system. So
Where are you
that was our
Absolutely. I
plan
agree.
until COVID hit, and so right
Nancy,
now we're in limbo.
where are you from originally, Nancy?
I grew up in Jersey City.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
St.
You
Louis
probably
heat is
hear
totally
my
different.
accent.
Totally
I'm
different.
like,
That heat. Ooh, nice good city though. Nice city.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Nice
quiet
architect.
here.
Mhm.
And so my friend that lives in Maryland, she lives in Columbia. I was talking to her yesterday, letting her know that tomorrow is my first COVID vaccine. And
Mm.
I'm not nervous about this one. I'm nervous about the second one because I had a history of Guillain-Barré that was triggered by a flu shot, and I am not a fan of vaccines. So my anxiety is like through the roof right now that I was ready to cancel tomorrow's appointment because I
No,
don't
just
want to go. But a tip she gave me because my husband is actually going to get the vaccine as well. She said when we both go for our second one, make sure that we don't do it together in case one of us gets extremely sick. And unfortunately, I know that's going to be me. I'm
no, but
just
that's
praying that I don't have a side effect from it. I know everybody's different, but I'm petrified
Yeah, we'll be saying prayers for you.
yeah.
because
Definitely.
my pulmonologist told me, he's like, look, he said, if you get COVID, you may not survive. And to hear that is like really
Yeah.
scary when you're only 54 years old.
Yeah. I'm 56, so I feel you. I
Me
really do.
too, Kathleen.
So,
Kathleen, you're
before,
almost a day over 36. Stop it.
who said that? Was that James?
I'll be 57, June 30th, the day of your.
James, you're next. Could we just hear a little bit from you? Because I know we're coming close to the end, and hopefully we'll all get back together again on April 6th.
Um,
Um,
hi,
Hi,
Kathleen.
James.
Sorry I'm so late. I don't have a good excuse except I remembered suddenly that that's right. It's time for the the get together. I've been a member about a year and a half, and this time last year I was taking 60 milligrams of prednisone, and today I'm down to 5. So
Yay!
yeah,
Awesome.
it's a much more
Well, we have
fulfilling life
you.
without all that prednisone. Um, the other news I got an email from my cardiologist the other day, and I have a monitor here. Well, actually, it's an AED, but it sends them reports once a month. And I have not had atrial fibrillation, which is what I got from sarcoid, since November, according to her records. So
Wow, that's great. Even with the prednisone, that's great.
yes, and it's been quite a an uplifting experience. I also have to say that Kathleen has been my angel all of this past year, and I give her a lot of praise for offline conversations and help. And the reason I'm here is I want to help you all too and give you some hope. So I'm very grateful for this group. I'm very grateful for science, and I want to pass that along to everybody. So that's it for me.
And just to bring you up to point on James, right now he's considered sarcoidosis quiet. That's all we're calling it, James. Sarcoidosis quiet. Okay.
Yes.
So hoping that it will stay quiet. And he asked if I still wanted him to come back to the support groups, and I said absolutely.
Yeah.
We can learn something from you. You can learn something from us, and just knowing that somebody has sarcoidosis quiet gives us, hope.
Mhm.
Hope.
Yep.
So. And with that, I want to leave with hope. So that's why I did you last too, James. So listen, guys, April 1st is Sarcoidosis Awareness Month. You need to, I don't care, try and put up one small thing for your Facebook people or whoever about sarcoidosis. Don't make it long. Nobody likes to read a lot. Just do a little snippet. Teach them. one every day. And you know what? You could take it from the FSR. It's all good. They love when you steal their information. It's not stealing. It's, properly teaching people. But let's teach them. What, Mary? I don't know if you faded out or you were going to say something.
No. Go ahead. I was just looking to see because I have purple lights on my window.
Good for you. Yeah, my purple's going up. So you're lucky I can't get to the hairdresser because otherwise this would be purple.
What's the purple for anyways? What does it, what's the purple for?
The purple is for sarcoidosis, and the snowflake that we have is because it's a snowflake disease. So that was the color that was dictated to sarcoidosis, I guess probably early 1900s, maybe. I'd have to actually look that up. That's a good question because it's been around since the late 1700s. So it'd be interesting to know when the ribbons were given out.
And I'll be putting a purple light bulb on my porch, so my light will be purple in the evening.
Don't forget your purple things. I wear them year round, your purple ribbons. If anybody needs a purple ribbon, send me your address because I have a million of them.
The purple rose.
Well,
Okay.
just send me you. Just come here.
Okay, just tell me. Okay.
Yep. Gotcha.
All right, everybody. I do want to say goodnight. Thank you. Kevin and Mary, I'll be reaching out to you shortly because I have some questions for you still. All right. Nancy, wonderful meeting you.
Nice to meet you all too. My husband actually took a picture of all your names, so
Good.
Good, Nancy.
Good. So we'll see you
I
on
didn't
Facebook
have to write
soon.
them down. Okay.
Thank you. Have a great
It was
evening,
nice to
everybody.
meet you all.
Thanks.
Everyone take care.
Thanks. Take
Night.
care.
Get
Good
your
night.
percent.
Night.
Kathleen, did you want me to stay around, or are you gonna reach out to me?
Yeah. Could you stay around for a second?
Yeah.
A second. Okay. Dismissed. All right. So Tasta.
Stop recording.
Good catch.